What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is going to be a very quick new review for my final album for 2021 albums. And I'm going to be reviewing an album from a Bandcamp musician by the name of Ethan Work from Houston, Texas, as he did decide to message me privately to review this album. And he actually did that a few months back, and I absolutely apologize that it's taking me so long to review this album for him. So I'm going to dive very quick into this video of reviewing The Last Cosmic Train to Infinity. So what this album is that Ethan has decided to release this album on the Bandcamp website, and this was entirely self-recorded, self-produced, and self-released. And as well as with a few of his friends decided to help him out to make this project turn to a big fruition and to be released through the Bandcamp website. So this entire album is mostly an instrumental album and running over 43 minutes in its entire length. And with the type of tags and genres that Ethan was inspired from for making this album, this is absolutely a well-inspired and dedicated record. And that's what I really like about this album, because I think Ethan absolutely deserves a lot of credit as he's put in so much work into this record. Musically, on a ton onto these separate compositions, from Alien Talk right the way through to the last track of World Beyond the Stars. This entire composition is really an uninterrupted experimental approach of instrumentation where it has a lot of elements into different genres, on krautrock to space rock, ambient, electronic stuff. And with those genres separately being one of my favorite genres to listen to any album from a favorite artist or band that I adore, this album is definitely worth it. And if you are a fan of these particular genres like myself, will recommend you guys to give Ethan's album a lot more attention, because I think he deserves it. There's a lot of the effort onto this album that instrumentally it was all really impressive. From the tracks on Alien Talk to The Last Cosmic Train, Drifting, and Drama at Larry's Spacebar, these types of tracks all matched together, and a lot of the time onto this album it's all entirely instrumental, and some of these ambient electronic synthesizer infused pieces do make me wonder and think about a lot of the other greats like Klaus Schulze to Ashra Temple, Tangerine Dream, the krautrock inspired elements on other tracks like the track to Infinity, Onwards. These types of sounds on this album are very trippy, pretty psychedelic driven as well. There are some points onto this album where I would hear Dan's lead guitar work towards the end of the album, where it's just all a big improvisational piece with a ton of these phased out wah-wah drenched type of effects. And while I really enjoy a lot of the impromptu style playing, all totally free and jammy, there are points on some of the later tracks where it does get a bit repetitive without adding in some more different layers and a bit more texture. But I think this experimentalism on this album is really, really well arranged. There are some sound samples onto some parts of this album, which are the fourth part of the Green Lantern cartoon, and as well as third cartoon from Green Lantern that was all owned by Warner Brothers. The only criticism that I have onto the album is that I think some of the drumming can be a little bit sloppy, a bit off time, while the really atmospheric and spacey type does deliver very, very well. The drumming I thought was decent, but there were moments where it can feel and sound a bit rushed. But needless to say, I give Ethan so much credit, and as well as with Kendra to Chris and Dan for putting in a lot of their talents for Ethan's own album. So definitely check this album out for yourselves, guys, if you are a fan of these types of genres like myself, as I've said. For this quick review here, by checking out this album, I will provide the Bandcamp link in the description below. For a rating, I am going to give this project of The Last Cosmic Train to Infinity a 7.5 out of 10. Very talented, gifted musicians like Ethan, amongst many others, deserve a lot of attention with their projects. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.